Hello, Kurt Jacobs from JMA here. Today we're going to talk about how the priority access licenses for CBRS work within a county. Within the last few weeks, the PAL auction has completed, and a lot of people have questions how it'll work within their county, how will it impact GAA. So we'll try to explain that today with an analogy here of cooking breakfast. But specific questions, you should go to the WIN forum or the FCC Part 96 requirements or the CBRS Alliance to get details. But we'll try to demonstrate that. So a PAL owner will have gotten licenses 1 to 4 for any license holder, up to a total of 7 across all license holders. And the first thing they'll do when they want to start using their PAL is they'll tell a SAS called a managing SAS. It'll only be one for a county. And they will tell them where they're going to put their CBSDs that will use PALs. And I'm going to represent that here with these little pieces of almond. And the different sizes kind of represent the different power that they might broadcast. So once they do that, the managing SAS will put that into a database, and the list of all those CBSDs is called a cluster list. So while they might have that, they don't actually, all this spectrum across the county is available for GAA, which I'll show later. And once the CBSDs actually register and start giving a heartbeat, then what the SAS will do will be like pouring pancake batter. And it will calculate out at every 360 degrees across the terrain that's available. And they'll look at topography maps and do it every, I think, 1 second of distance. And they'll calculate out the out to a negative 96 dBm to a certain power level and calculate what's called a PPA, PAL protection area, and it has a PAL protection area contour. In reality, the coverage might be a little bit less because the SAS uses a very conservative calculation method. So I'm going to add a little bit more batter to show that it's conservative. Because its primary job is to protect incumbents. So it wants to be conservative. So that creates one PAL protection area. Now, as the PAL licensee turns on another PAL, CBSD, the SAS will calculate another contour. Now, you can see that the contours might overlap. That all becomes one big contour. And as this pancake looks like, it can be very irregularly shaped. Again, out to negative 96 dBm. So I'm going to make another one here where I put, sorry, I got some drips here that we'll clean up. Off to the side. And I'm going to add another CBSD PAL right here. And again, you have one big contour and you have one smaller one. They're not touching, so that becomes, they're separately calculated. Now GAA can still operate anywhere there isn't a pancake, which I'll represent with the sausage here. So you can cook your sausage in an open spot in the outside for that channel. The managing SAS will also calculate what's the total interference from these GAA CBSDs out on the edges to the PAL protection area. And if it's, they're going to keep it at negative 80 dBm or less, aggregate from all the different GAA. So if it starts to increase over that, they'll ask these GAAs to either power down, go to a different channel, or you might just want to reorient your antennas for different coverage areas, which is allowable. Now, the other thing the managing SAS can do is it can move an edge of a PPA contour. So that's allowed. So the PAL licensee can ask the managing SAS to actually move the contours. So you can change the shape because, again, the SAS calculates a very conservative protection area, and there might be reasons they want to change that. So again, anywhere where there's open griddle, GAA can operate. Now, another unique situation, and I'll just put some more CBSDs out there, is what if I have a hole in the middle of my PAL protection area? So I'm going to make a couple small pancakes here, and I'm building out my PPAs. And let's say I have another small one there. And then I have a contour that, let's see if I can do this, creates a hole. If that hole is less than half a kilometer in area, the rules say that the managing SAS can fill it in, and it becomes one big PPA. Okay? So you get one big pancake. So if the size of that hole, and maybe I'll demonstrate that over here. Again, I can cut my contour lines as these pancakes are almost done. The other thing I'd like to point out is that the PAL protection area covers the entire area of the PAL protection area. Even though like the bubbles here kind of show, I might have places that maybe I'm deep inside a building that don't have coverage, that channel is still protected no matter what. So now if I have a, let's say I'm going to add another CBSD here. They just started it up. And it creates a hole in the middle, and this hole is bigger than half a kilometer. I can actually do GAA in there, as long as it's bigger than that half a kilometer, which is about 1/5 of a square mile, or 123 acres, about 5 million square feet. And it can be any shape, and GAA can operate there. The other thing that a PAL license holder can do, and it's entirely up to them, is sublicense their PAL to someone, to let them use it. There's a couple rules around that. The license, the sublicense has to be eligible to have an FCC license, because that's what the SAS really does, is just issues you permission to broadcast, like an FCC. And the PAL license holder can say, hey, over here, or better yet, I'll show this with a blueberry. I'm going to sublicense, and the SAS will get notified by the PAL license holder to say, hey, I want this person or organization to use my PAL, and they will get afforded the same protection, but it'll be listed, and that's why I'll put blueberries on it. So we know that it's a different person that operates it, and they'll get the same protections. The license holder has to be outside of the licensee's PAL protection area. That said, again, the PAL licensee could create, change their contours in order to allow sub-licensing in particular places they want to operate. I think that covers it on the way that, oh, I forgot about the counties, the edge of the county. So if I have, as I'm showing, I'll make another CBSD. Let's say I'm at the edge or border of a county. I don't know if I talked about that. The managing SAS will only do the contour up to the edge of the county, just like the griddle. And they're supposed to work with the adjacent counties to make sure that there's not interference. Maybe you're going to change the direction of your antennas so you don't interfere with everyone else. So that's how PALs work and PAL protection areas. Now remember, there's 7 griddles. There's different channels. They might have to move. The managing SAS will try to have a steady state, consistent, and also contiguous channels as best as they can. But there might be incumbents where they have to move, but they'll try to bring them back to that location. The rest of the spectrum is available for GAA, and any place you don't have a pancake, you can do GAA. So it's very flexible. It's a very powerful part of CBRS. And if you have any other questions, please let us know. JMA, we make RAN equipment for CBRS and private wireless, and we'd be happy to discuss with you how this all works, and hope you're hungry.